It started with a scream. Not fear. Pain. The kind of scream that freezes your blood. Ayaan was holding his phone when he heard it, his girlfriend's voice breaking on the other end. Something crashed, glass shattered, then nothing. The call didn't end. The silence stayed. At the same moment behind him, the kitchen stove turned on by itself. When he turned around, he saw the diary. Opened. Waiting. Ayaan panicked. He grabbed it and shoved it into the stove, slamming the door shut and turning the flame as high as it would go. But the diary didn't burn. The fire bent away from it, as if it was alive. That's when Ayaan collapsed to the floor. Tears ran down his cheeks as his body shook, because he finally understood. Whatever had happened to his girlfriend was the price he had to pay. But suddenly he opened his eyes. It was just a dream. A few days earlier, Ayaan found the diary hidden inside the wall of his rented apartment. Dust fell when it slid out, like the wall itself was relieved to let it go. The first page carried a single sentence. Every truth written here demands a sacrifice. Ayaan smiled and shook his head. He was tired of warnings. He picked up a pen and, without thinking too much, wrote his first line. Not for power, not for love, for survival. He wrote, by tomorrow morning, I will receive money. That was it. No names, no details. That night, nothing happened. No sound, no shadow, no sign. But the next morning, when Ayaan opened his door, a cloth bag lay outside. Heavy, inside it bundles of cash, old notes, real. His hands went cold. Before he could even process it, his phone rang. It was a call he wasn't prepared for. His childhood friend, someone who still called him brother, had died in a road accident just after midnight. No witnesses, no explanation, instant death. Ayaan dropped the phone. That evening, when he opened the diary again, a new line had appeared beneath his writing. Written in darker ink. Payment accepted. Ayaan stared at it. He wasn't sure if the diary had caused it, or if fate was just being cruel. Coincidences happen. But even as he tried to believe that, his hands wouldn't stop shaking. Because the diary hadn't been like this before. And deep down he knew. Something had changed. He still didn't believe it. So instead of fear, Ayaan felt a strange calm. If the first time was fate, the next wish would prove it. He opened the diary again. Ayaan picked up the pen. His reflection in the page blinked a second late. He swallowed. Then he wrote his second wish. After our marriage, Mara and I will live in our dream apartment. The pen slipped from his fingers the moment he finished. The room went quiet. Too quiet. Nothing happened. Ayaan almost laughed at himself. Until the next evening when Mara called him, her voice shaking with excitement. She said an agent had contacted her out of nowhere. A brand new apartment. The exact layout they had talked about. Same floor, same view. Same price they could never afford. Ayaan felt relief. Then later that night, his phone buzzed again. This time the message had no name. Only one line. Payment is pending. Ayaan stared at the message. Payment is pending. His throat tightened. He checked the diary. The page with the second wish was no longer clean. A thin, dark line ran beneath his words, pulsing like a vein. He touched it. The line was warm. His phone rang. Mara. Her voice sounded normal, too normal. She was laughing, talking about paint colors, curtains, future plans. Ayaan forced himself to listen. Then mid-sentence her voice paused. Ayaan, she whispered, why does the apartment have our names carved on the door? Ayaan's blood went cold. Before he could answer, the call dropped. The next morning, his younger brother didn't wake up. Not a sound from the room. Ayaan ran in, heart hammering. The boy lay on the floor, pale, eyes open, staring at nothing. Ayaan screamed. Shaking hands touched his brother's chest, no pulse. A single thought consumed him. The diary, it's taking him. He dropped to his knees, tears streaming. Everything he had wished for, the apartment, the future, was worthless. Because the cost had already begun. Days passed, the apartment felt empty, even after moving in. Ayaan avoided the diary, locked it in a drawer, ignored the strange whispers at night, the way pages sometimes fluttered on their own. But he knew it wouldn't stop. Ayaan's hands shook as he opened the diary again. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about the apartment anymore. He didn't even think about himself. All he wanted was one thing: Maria's safety. He wrote slowly, almost whispering. Keep Maria safe, let nothing harm her ever. The room went silent. Too silent. Ayaan felt a chill crawl up his spine. The pages of the diary began to flutter violently, even though no wind touched them. Then from the corner of the room, a shadow moved. It was blacker than darkness, fluid, shapeless, but alive. It slithered across the walls. Ayaan's heart stopped. The shadow stretched toward him. He tried to move. He screamed. The diary's pages flipped faster, faster. Then the shadow touched him, cold, heavy, crushing. Ayaan fell, his vision blurred. His lungs burned, his hands clawed at nothing. And in that instant, he understood. The diary had taken its final price. His eyes closed. His last thought was of Maria, safe, alive. The room went still. The diary lay on the floor, open, blank page waiting. As if nothing had happened. And somewhere deep inside, it waited for the next person to write.